Hey guys, I don't want to do the intro anymore because it's so stupid. It's the same every time. So I'm just gonna say our ninth question is by Jeremy Goldcorn on Twitter. And Jeremy wants to know, how much did I spend on the journey and how did I fund it? The money question. This one is a little bit more difficult than the other questions because I feel awkward talking about money. It makes me feel super uncomfortable. I don't know if that's me personally or if it's a cultural issue. I just don't like it. I do, however, understand that it's an important question. I get asked this particular question a lot, either by people online. Somebody might be thinking about doing a similar thing, a long distance journey, and then they're thinking, like, how much do you need for that? And how do you do that? Or by people on the road. Like, I would be walking through some random village in, I don't know, Turkey or whatever, and there would be a dude, almost always a dude, and he would be responsible for the questioning. So I would come in, beard, hair, caboose, everything sweaty, tired, and the dude would be like, who are you? Where you from? What is it that you do? Why are you pulling a fridge? And how do you pay for that? Do you like sell Pepsi out of the fridge or do you fix stuff on the road? It's an important question. People wonder about the financial aspects of the journey. So I'm going to try to give a useful answer without going into too many specifics because I find that awkward. And that's going to mean I'm going to give you a ballpark answer. And the ballpark answer, to put it briefly, is about 2,000 a month. That's not saying that every month cost me 2,000 euros though. No. Often it was a lot cheaper. And it seemed to depend mostly on where I was walking at the time, like which country. For example, Uzbekistan was a lot cheaper than Austria. And it also depended on the environment. If it's a desert, a mountain range, a forest, something less densely populated, that's going to be much easier on your wallet than an urban area because there are simply not many places where you can go ka-ching with your credit card. So yeah, go desert. There were, however, also places that were more expensive than 2,000 a month, which sounds ridiculous and it was unexpected, but it's true. For example, Turkmenistan. I remember telling you about that great country of Turkmenistan a while ago. They took 3,500 euros from me for 15 days of a visa and a one-man tour group. I told you about the tour group in that other video. That cost me a shit ton of money. That's 15 days for 3,500 euros. I don't know at what other time during the journey I spent that kind of money, but what are you going to do? I need about 2,000, doesn't matter if it's euros or dollars, they're about the same, a month. And then I can comfortably either walk or not walk. Because one thing that became clear about my journey, the longest way from China to Germany, was that it became my way of living after a while. Like when I started in Beijing in 2007, I was still thinking of the journey as a project that I would finish in like a year or two, and then I would be done with it and I would do something totally different. But after a while, it became clear to me that it didn't really matter if I was actually on the road walking or if I was resting somewhere or if I was not walking. Maybe I was even at home doing other things, seeing a doctor, working, or anything, renting an apartment even. I was still busy with the project, with the journey. So it became my way of life. And during this way of life, during this journey, I needed about 2,000 a month. The medical insurance, very important, and equipment insurance came in handy when I had an accident in Uzbekistan and they paid for it. It was awesome. I need lodging. Either I'm renting at home or I'm staying in a guest house, hotel, hostel, campground, something on the way. I need food. You have extra costs, like maybe going to a movie theater or a museum, I don't know. You have bureaucratic costs. Like sometimes you need to buy a visa for a country and they're usually going to charge you for that. And you got transportation, which sounds super weird, I know, because when you look at a journey like that and you think, okay, so you're going to walk from there to there, why would there be any transportation? Like, why would you be on a train, bus, taxi, even an airplane if you're going to walk? In my case, had to. Sometimes you need to go pick up a visa in a different town in the capital of the country, for example, or you need to go see a doctor, or you need to go home to your country, get some money. So there's all these things. And then a total budget of about 2,000 euros or dollars a month, and then it's comfortable. I understand that there's a lot of people that do this kind of thing much more on a shoestring budget, and I respect them for it. I'm not that type of person. When I started the whole walking thing in 2003, first time, I bought a backpack, bought a sleeping bag, bought a ground pad, and started walking randomly with a paper map that I couldn't understand, with a compass from Paris, and I was going to walk to my home in Germany, 850 kilometers, 23 days. I didn't spend any money. Like, I had a total budget of 50 euros for almost a month because I slept outside every night. And the only food that I ate was, I went to a supermarket and bought a can and opened that can and I had it with a bit of bread. But that wasn't sustainable, at least not for me. I'm not tough like that. So when I started walking in Beijing, I understood that no, I would have to go to a guest house hotel at least every few days, charge my body battery, charge my camera's batteries, this kind of thing, take a shower maybe. So there was going to be a little bit more of planning involved and a little bit more of a budget involved. Now, the second part of the question, the funds, where did I get them? The first thing that happened when I considered this whole journey, when I was still in Beijing and I was looking out the window of my apartment, looking west, and I was thinking, okay, so my home is somewhere behind that mountain range west of Beijing. You just got to keep walking and you can get there. And I was also thinking about the question, like, how do you fund that? It was at that time that I realized, because my biological father had died when I was little and had left me a complicated family situation, but also an inheritance. Not huge, but enough for this kind of project that I thought, okay, I could take this money and I could invest it reasonably, or I could burn it on this type of thing. I could try to walk back from China to Germany, and that would be like, hey, Dad, I'm using the money. So I tried that. So that helped. I don't know what I would have done without. Maybe try to get a sponsorship, maybe not do it, maybe work and save up money before for some time, but I didn't have to do that because that money was there. And then later, when I started publishing books in the German market, Russian market, Chinese market, in Taiwan, then it kind of shifted to the journey actually started making money itself. I did the books, I do YouTube, I got the viral video, the weird beard transformation on YouTube. I also have a Chinese channel where I talk about politics, so I do that. It's a bit embarrassing, but if people ask me, like, what do you do? I'm like, well, I kind of write books, but also I guess I'm a YouTuber. So I do that. I guess I could try saying Logan Paul 100,000 times or something. Maybe that would work. Another thing that I do is travel presentations. It's like a public speaking thing. Somebody else does the organizing. They book a venue, they do advertisements, they sell tickets. And then I show up with my computer and a little laser pointer. And I show videos and pictures of my travels. I tell the audience about my experiences. And being a German, I tell one or two funny jokes sometimes. They like that. And if enough people show up, that's a source of income, the travel presentations. So overall, about 2,000 a month. And I got the books, the YouTube, and my presentations, and an inheritance. So I hope that answers the question. And thanks, Jeremy. Fire Kaiser Koa. Peace.